What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE News. Today, we are following up with our part 2 of Nintendo Switch Online details. Yes, I had a lot to say in the last video that you guys watched. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all of you guys that have watched that, and if you haven't, please make sure you check out my part 1. There will be a link in the description below, or just go on my channel. It's the last video that I did, and you'll see part 1 there. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check out that one first before you check out this one, because I'm not going to be going over all of the details when it comes to what I went over in that video, because all of that is there. I'm going to be going over some of the finer details here and kind of getting into more of the leak when it comes to the online, how that dude Lazzy Man or whatever his name was on GameFAQs, how he talked about that. How possible is it that some of the other stuff is true on this? Now we got some big YouTubers saying that some of this stuff on this leak is true and they have sources and all of that, so it's kind of just getting out of hand. But I do want to talk about it. So let's first get into a little bit more on the classic game. So you guys all know the big thing from this, cloud saves is a big thing. Obviously you're going to need this online play or this online service in order to play multiple online games like Splatoon 2 or ARMS or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online. Now, one little thing that maybe wasn't caught, that there will be some games that might not need this even though it's an online game. So it seems to me like developers or publishers or certain individual teams might have the option whether to enable it to where you have to have the Nintendo Switch Online, the pay to play, or it might not, based on the Q&A that Nintendo did do. So maybe Nintendo will have some free time periods to where you will be able to play certain games, or after a certain amount of time you might not need the online anymore. For example, games like Fortnite, I don't think you need Xbox Live or PSN in order to play that game. So that's what that loophole could be in there, or it could be like there's actually going to be games that are from Nintendo that let you play online without this. So we're gonna have to wait and see for more details on that. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out was the classic online game selection. A lot of people are pointing to this as the death of Virtual Console, and I have to pretty much agree with that. I don't think we're gonna see Virtual Console in a normal form because Nintendo wants to bring back classic games with a twist. They don't want the eShop flooded with a bunch of old games and people saying bring back this game and this game and this game over and over. They're going to bring back games that they want to at the pace that they want to and enhance them in order to provide a little bit more value to people. I've never been a big fan of Virtual Console. Obviously, you guys know this. I've said this, but I want to make sure that I repeat that for the people that are in there like, oh, why don't you like Virtual Console? What's wrong with having it? Virtual Console's never sold anything, in my opinion. It's always just been there, and it's actually taken away sales from other games. So I think Nintendo's going to play a little bit smarter. It's going to be a line of games that you're going to be able to get. There's 20 games starting out, NES titles that will all be enhanced with online play that you will be able to just access and play right straight from there. So that's crazy. I thought it was going to be like a game a month, but Nintendo did rescind that when they did say that. So I know that they said they're going to change things up a bit, but they did that, and they did it in a good way. I think that's really good. Now, you guys already know about the whole voice chat type of situation right now. Based on what they're showing us, it's really just going to be on the app and more features maybe potentially being added in. We don't know. We need to see an updates to the app. You guys already know, don't like the idea of only having it on the app at this point. I feel that they're going to, or they need to, make sure that you can go through this system as well. So we'll see if that actually gets done, but for right now, not feeling what they're doing with the app when it comes to it, but we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I'm just going to stick to Discord because I don't think the online app is going to be sufficient enough, and I think that there's going to be a lot of other people that find it as a hassle in order to get normal voice chat. So it's just going to be one of those things that you just have to deal with it at this point, and definitely isn't a good thing in my opinion. Now, moving on to one of the things that I wanted to focus on was the classic games. Now, from what I understand, you can actually watch people play the single player games as well. So that's going to be something that's kind of pretty cool. It's almost like the game share or whatever, like the game watch from the PlayStation 4, to where you can go into somebody else's game and watch them play. So apparently you're going to be able to do that with these classic games. So that makes me think there's a lot of stuff going on with this Nintendo Switch Online, and it can expand a lot further than what we're seeing here. Now, I want to talk about this before we get into the leak and all of that, so we'll get there, guys, trust me. But this can expand expand into a lot more things, just like PlayStation has. I used to watch my boy Andre play Guilty Gear all the time on PlayStation 4, but apparently you can only do it for 1 hour because you have access to the game too, or to where you can play it for an hour as well, or something like that. But it seems like this is going to be unlimited. So think about this, guys. If this was expanded to Nintendo's other titles, imagine watching someone train for Super Smash Brothers, or being right there in the room with them and asking them stuff, because you will be able to voice chat through the Switch Online app, but you will be able to voice chat with that person in that classic game with all of them on there. So this could expand. I think they can take this to the next step and get it to where you can watch other single player games. You'll be able to go through in a game like, let's say, Bayonetta 3 and say, yo, I want to watch my friend play Bayonetta 3. I would hope I would hope that they would expand that to all the games on the service. So I think that's something that's kind of being overlooked a little bit. That's a fantastic feature, but a bit limited on other consoles. Now, Steam has that, no problem, but it would be really cool if they implemented that on the Nintendo Switch, because Nintendo has a bunch of first-party games people could watch on there. You could comment, talk back and forth, just kind of ask them like what's going on. I think it'd be really good for games like Smash Brothers. If you want to watch somebody go on For Glory or something like that, or play online ranked matches, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, stuff like that. You're just trying to pick up on tips and things, and you guys can kind of talk and discuss things out. I think that's going to be awesome. You know, that's going to be really cool, and I would love for that to happen. So that's something that could be a potential big killer app, maybe to what Reggie was alluding to when it comes to this is going to be amazing, and even some of the stuff that Shinya Takahashi was kind of hyping up a little bit. So there's some great stuff in here that just kind of messed up on voice chat. They also didn't talk about the messenger, or what you're going to be using for messaging, whether it's going to be on the system or not. I'm hoping it's on the system. So those would be the two things that they kind of messed up on. But there's some cool stuff in here, and it's cheap. It's not expensive. I love the price of it. 20 bucks a year. If you do a family plan, that's so cheap, and you can totally do that with other Nintendo Switch systems and just get other people, and you guys can all pay like $4 or something like that, $4.30, a little bit over that, to pay for the online for the year. So yeah, you can do that because you can do it with other systems. You just have to add people to the account. So that's awesome to see. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys might just do that on the Discord or whatever the case is, just so you guys can get online for a lot cheaper. So when you look at it that way, I mean, for $4.30 something cents a year, pretty good if you're going to go with that family plan type of deal. So not bad in that aspect. Now let's move on to the leak, because this is probably the big thing that everyone's talking about. Now I'm hearing some rumors from guys like Etika and stuff saying that now he has sources that say that Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are going to be in Smash, and look and behold, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro was on this leak when it came to the Nintendo Switch message board on GameFAQs when he said check back on this topic on May 7th. It's going to be proven right. Now, yes, we did get more information May 7th. He was right on that. However, based on what we know right now, this could be proven different. You know, this could be proven wrong. There could be things that change. He didn't get everything right when it comes to Nintendo Switch Online. But once again, we don't know all of the full details at this point. This could evolve and change. But he did lock down that date for May 7th. So you have to give him a little bit of credit there. But then again, could have been a 50-50, right? Either it's May 7th or it's May 14th. It's going to be early May. It's going to be one of those two dates. He has a 50% chance in terms of when the business week starts. So there you go. There's always that. Now, let's go ahead and get into this just so you guys know, or for those who didn't know, here's a refresher. Here's what Lazzyman had to say on the GameFAQs board. It was 5 days ago that he posted this. He said, Nintendo's releasing details about their online service on May 7th. Service goes live on September 24th. I don't think we have an official confirmation of that. They just said September. Service offers dedicated voice chat through an existing chat service. And then he says Discord being the most popular choice. Okay, but that's not the case right now. We don't know if Discord is being added in at any point. They just talked about the Nintendo Switch Online app. So that would be one inaccurate thing there. Now, the eShop discounts and a games with gold / PlayStation Plus like service where retro games are being given to people every month and are allowed to keep the games as long as they have the service. That's, I guess, kind of right. We don't know about the discounts, but the discounts is already stuff that is part of the Club Nintendo or the new one or whatever it is. So that's always something that's going to be a given that you get, or that's something that's included. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I guess he's kind of right, but we get all those gifts at the beginning. We can play all of those games from the start once we have the service. So that's actually really cool. That's actually really cool that we're doing that. And I guess it's not one game a month. From what I understand, it's all 20 that you can play starting out. And they're going to be adding them in. You'll just be able to play those with online, and you'll be able to play them offline. But I doubt Nintendo will let you keep those games if you don't have the service anymore, but you will be able to play them offline if you're not online. So it's not like a streaming type of deal. Now, there's more stuff when it comes to the virtual console. He did talk about that Nintendo is ditching that moniker and that brand and replacing it with Nintendo Classics, and games offered through this are much more cheaper than they were before, and are going to launch with NES and GBA games in August, with Super Nintendo and N64 games being made available late 2018, early 2019. So August, that would be before September. Okay, so basically before the service even drops, Nintendo's going to be offering, apparently to him, there's going to be, or not apparently to him, but based on what he's saying here, there's going to be like a virtual console type-ish type of deal before the online drops. So that will have to be like an E3 type of thing, or maybe even just a press release in August. But who knows? Who knows on that? Nintendo has a busy summer ahead of them. Now, another thing that I want to state is kind of all the way down to the bottom. We're going to skip past the digital conference stuff, a lot of that stuff in there, but I wanted to talk about this whole Super Smash Brothers type of deal, because he does say that Crash and Spyro are going to be in, and like I did state earlier, now Etika is saying that he has some sources that are saying Crash and Spyro are going to be in. Is this the same source, the Lazzy man? I mean, that's going on there. I haven't had or haven't heard too many sources saying anything like that, but you never know, right? I guess this is kind of crazy, and I did make a video saying, yo, like, I don't think there's going to be Western characters like Crash, Bandicoot, and Spyro. I'm going to stick to that, and if I'm wrong, I'm definitely wrong. I'll let you guys know. I'll own up to it. I'll say, hey, I was wrong if those characters are in, but I just don't think that those characters are going to be in, and if they're in, I'm going to be upset if some of the characters, some of the Japanese characters that have been needing to be in there, not needing, but wanting to be in there for a while, or heck, even Nintendo's own characters from certain franchises, if those don't get in, it's going to be like, man, you put in these third-party characters before you put in more characters from F-Zero or Golden Sun. We have no representation from there at all. That's just straight up disrespect, in my opinion, for two franchises that have been nothing but, like, I wouldn't say disrespectful, but like they haven't been like exclusives on Nintendo systems. I mean, it's not like Crash or Spyro have been anything to where it comes first to Nintendo systems, so why do they get that opportunity before Nintendo's own? So they better include all the Nintendo franchises and characters that they need to include, not just one character from F-Zero and none from Golden Sun. We need to see some more representation, so we'll see what happens there. I still don't believe that at this point, but like I said, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to go over when it comes to this thing. Now, there's still a lot more information in here, but it doesn't really pertain to too much in terms of what I set up already. But if you want to see the full list, and if you haven't seen it, I'll have a link in the description below, and see what you think about it. But yeah, a lot of this stuff, it's looking kind of suspect, but you have to follow up with it because he was right on the May 7th. And I didn't really hear too many other people talking about May 7th as a date. I didn't report on any other rumors or any other chatter from people that I know or anything that May 7th was going to be the date for this. So you have to at least, at the minimum, give him that. But like I said, it's a 50% chance he can guess on that one, because Nintendo did say beforehand that they will reveal more details on the online in early May. So it's not like he 100% nailed it blind. You know, it was a 50-50 shot on getting it right. So still very skeptical about the whole situation, but I will follow up on it for right now, and we will see what goes down at E3, because if Crash and Spyro are coming, then they'd have to be announced at E3. I would think that's when they're going to come, just like Mega Man was announced and Pac-Man was announced at E3. So give me your thoughts on this, guys. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about all this. It's been a crazy, like, past 12 to 15 hours for Nintendo, and I think things are just going to get even more and more intense as we head down the road to E3. And we'll, of course, have my Road to E3 podcast with PE Live. We'll be talking about a lot of this stuff, so trust me, we're going to get a lot more and you guys' thoughts on that at PE Live. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages, and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below, and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.